We're back once again to the show that shatters the silence on men's mental health. We are unedited, unfiltered,
And as always, we are going raw. My name's Anthony.
and I'm Joey.
And I'm Eric, and we're your hosts, and welcome to Raw Minds. Oh, fuck.
Here we are again.
And again.
And
I just feel blah today, boys.
It was a fucking blah day, man.
Yeah. We had like major rain here. It was actually my job site we closed her down because the power went out. So it's too dangerous to have people working if there's no power, right? You got no crane, nothing like that.
Mm.
So we sent everybody home. It was just, I don't know, man. I just feel blah today.
dude, I've been feeling blah this whole last month. And just so happens we're talking about it tonight. But no, it's one of those days too, man. It's been like that for I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks at least.
Yeah.
But even today, like I shut my cranes down, sent everyone home. My operators didn't even climb. I was like, fuck it. It's like 60K winds at 8 a.m. I'm like, dude, forget it.
What's the maximum you're allowed to work in?
Shut down on a crane is 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's operator discretion as well, right?
Yeah.
And it depends on what you're flying. You know, if you're flying big panels, which is like a kite,
Yeah.
you're not flying it at 45 or even possibly 35. But if it's big solid loads, it's a little different. So it's more operator discretion, right? But WCB shutdown is 50.
Yeah.
A lot of guys will push it, and a lot of guys will use that as in like, nope, too fucking bad, I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
So it all depends.
Speaking of guys, I just want to say happy Movember, guys.
Happy Movember, boys.
You know, this is important time for us, you know, pushing out prostate cancer. So I just want to say, everybody out there, grow those fucking stashes. Let's see those dirty Sanchez's, boys. Let's do this.
You ain't never gonna see me shave my fucking face, so sorry. I'll support it in other ways.
Well, I just want
to. I'm the same, man. If I just grew a mustache, man, I'd look like Fred Flintstone. Man.
yeah, man. But it's
but
cause
you gotta,
and it's fun, man.
Yeah, you respect the meaning behind it, and I think a lot of, especially women, don't even understand the meaning behind it or even try to look it up because it really is for a good cause. You know what I mean?
100%, man.
Like you said, with like prostate cancer, even suicide awareness, it's a mental health thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like, you know, when the women wear like the pink ribbons for breast cancer, and that's the guy's version of the ribbon.
It's our pink ribbons.
Yeah,
it's our pink ribbons, except
we just wear it on our upper lip. That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty
I just
much.
want to say for everybody, 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. So, you know, man, get that shit checked out.
Ain't no shame in getting your balls played with, boys.
No.
I don't know if I'd want to know, to be honest with you, but
yeah,
a lot of people don't because they don't want the possibility of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a scary thought, definitely, man. Definitely. So yeah, support your fellow mustache growers. On that, I don't know, Joey, you want to take us off with you came up with this beautiful name. I thought maybe I'll give you the honors of fucking
on something that I think every man struggles with once in their life. Well, every person probably, but I mean, when I look back at a lot of my struggles, it is because of finances, and it doesn't mean that I wasn't making money. And just because you're struggling with finances doesn't mean you're broke. There's also a lot of mental behind that, and I just learned this today because I was doing a little research, you know, and people suffer from financial trauma.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I never really looked at it like that until today.
Mm-hmm.
And when I looked at some of the signs of financial trauma, I'm like, oh my God, that is me.
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I make decent money. I have a great career. I do good things, but me personally, especially in the past in relationships, I never felt like it was enough. I always struggled with, that's still not enough. I want to do more for them. I want to give her or my kids more than what I've already given them, even if it was plenty. To
Mm-hmm.
anybody else, it would have been a lot. To me, it wasn't enough. You know what I mean? And
Definitely.
yeah, and even sometimes, even when you pay your bills, especially when you live in the Western world like we do, and it just keeps going up and up. Our roles and duties as a man doesn't change, right? We still have the protector, provider, the man of the house, and regardless of how high gas and rent and food goes up, we still got to be that person, and it just gets harder and harder, like pretty much every year, right? Because you can only make so much, and yeah, you work extra hard to try to make extra money, but man, like it is a real struggle, and especially in the relationships because you don't ever want your wife or girlfriend to think that you're broke or she wants this and that, but you don't want her to think that you can never give it to her even though you're working your ass off to try.
Mm-hmm.
So it really weighs on you, you know what I mean?
Definitely,
and,
man.
and when I was reading up on this financial trauma, and one of the signs was like you're driven to isolate from relationships due to shame. And then I look back at like the last
Oh
couple of
yeah.
years of being single.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like if I get in a relationship, it's like past triggers. Like when I never felt I was good enough in the past for somebody, or I couldn't give them enough. Now I'm in a state where like I'm the best I've ever been in life with
Yeah.
career, etc. But I'm still reliving past relationships in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go into another one, I'm like, oh shit, she's gonna want to do this, and am I gonna be able to do it? And then I'm just like, you know what I mean? And I didn't realize how serious like this financial trauma was. And then when I started reading about it today, and I'm like, holy shit, like these are real things, like right? And it's not. Sometimes some people have income issues because they just don't make enough. Period, and they live without outside of their means or not inside their means. You know what I mean? And then there's people like, well, I'm one of the things on this list with the financial traumas, right? Because you're always
Mm-hmm.
worried, and then there's people who overspend or very avoidant of spending, right? Because they're always, financial anxiety constantly,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Just preparing for the worst all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you live in your head in it. And I've done it for years. And I've realized certain things. And even reading about it today, I'm like, Jesus, man. Like that's me to the T with one of those things, right? Like get in a relationship, I'm worried, even though I know it'll be fine. But because I've lived this a few times over in my history, it freaks me out. What if she's not going to think I'm good enough? What if I can't get a bigger house down the road? What if they move in and then we got to move? Like, how do I get out? And then you start fucking overthinking shit, right? Because it's all financial.
Yeah, it's you're letting finances affect your self-esteem. Like you're already not feeling good enough because you can't mentally allocate your money in a way that you feel that you should. Like mine's always about my kids, man, like
Yeah.
never feeling like I can do enough for my kids. Like I know putting groceries in the fridge and like keeping a roof over the head, like that's providing for my kids. But there's always that fucking want to do more, right? And it's like even if I get more money, it's like it's already allocated for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's hard to find that free amount of money to do the things that I want to do with the kids. It's fucking hard, man. It's all hard.
Well, it's all about the um holy fuck, I just lost the train of thought. Financial free is what everybody wants to um chase after, right? And what it is actually, it's not even being financially free. It's being just having freedom,
Mhm.
right? At the end of the day, that's what we want. I don't know where that came from, but that was just split out there because I wanted to say that. But going back also with trauma for financial trauma, also like a lot of men and women, this goes for both ways. Um, you know, some spouse will just take them through the ringers, right? You know, they'll they know that their partner there, or was partner, has an expensive lawyer. You know, so they'll just run them through all this until they're draining them, right? And then also that also adds on to, financial trauma as well, because now you come into this court case or whatever it may be, or custody or whatever it is. You got this money, and then the other side of it, they just pretty much suck it out of you, and now you're fucked. And then a lot of men with like, I can speak on the men's side anyways, because I know a lot of men that have dealt like this, is, they end up almost just giving up on themselves because they just can't afford to fight anymore in court. And a
Yeah.
lot of times that leads to suicide, which is fucking super, super sad.
I have
Yeah,
a
especially.
friend. Sorry, go ahead, Joey.
No, go ahead, man.
I have a friend who's dealing with a legal case right now, and I don't want to say too much detail because it's not really mine to
Yeah.
say. But his ex is dragging him through the mud, and he doesn't even have a leg to stand on. And I talk to this guy almost every day,
Mhm.
and he's like, "Man, like I feel like I'm gonna run out of money before I actually have any sort of say in this case."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's fucking terrible, man. Especially as men. Like, I mean, the court system is changing quite a bit.
Yeah.
Um,
It-
a little bit more in the favor of men compared to what it used to be, but it's still like it's so friggin' hard to have any leg to stand on as a man, especially when it comes to your children. Like that's all this guy wants. He just wants time with his kids.
Yeah.
And literally he's at this point where he just has to bend over and take it. And I tell him, like, man, like, you can't do anything right now. All you can do is exactly what the courts say. And as long as you do that, like I pray to God sooner or later before you run out of money that like it actually works in your favor. Like it's a terrible situation to be in, man.
Can I ask you something, Anthony, real quick? And I don't want to get off topic here
Yeah,
tonight,
man.
but is your friend, is that strictly a custody battle that he's paying for? Or does that have to do with his assets and his homes and everything that they used to share?
No, it's just strictly custody, but there's a lot more to the story. I mean, you guys would probably know in relation to me like who this guy probably is. I mean, we could talk about it after the show. It's just not I can't really share it on here.
Yeah. 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 No,
But
that's
there's a lot of stuff being brought up from his past that's being used against him, even though that's not the person that he is anymore. That's the easiest way to put it. So everything that he's been through is being weaponized against him, even though like he's done the work to not be that person anymore. He doesn't
Like,
have he doesn't have much assets left, to be honest with you.
That shit's fucked up, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if you've changed. I mean, I've dealt this in my life because of like my past and then where I am today. Like when I went to my 20-year reunion, it was fucked. So I went there. I was there with Jules, and everybody was like surprised I was there. And this guy comes up to me, and a classmate of mine, and he's like, "So are you still crazy?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "Are you fucking serious? Shit you not, man." Right like that. And then Jules turns to me, she's like, "Fuck this shit. Let's get out of here." And we left. We were there for about an hour and a half, not even an hour, and then we left. But it's shit like that. People judge, right? And that's the shitty thing, is like people judge on the past when they don't see the good. Everybody's pointing out the bad stuff. You don't see people going around and take pictures of the bad. Well, now you do, I guess. But I mean, you in your photo albums, it's not the bad shit, it's the good shit, right?
Yeah.
But people don't see that shit. They always just see the bad.
Mhm.
yeah, that's true, man. Like, you can do 1,000 good things. You do one bad thing, and that's all you're remembered for is that one bad thing, right?
People
Yeah.
hold on to that shit.
Yeah, it's fucking
But
sad.
yeah, no, and like even like you're saying in the courts, man, and the financial trauma that causes you, or what you've had to go through in your past when, if you were married before and went through a divorce and she took half of everything plus, and now you're paying alimony, like that is heavy, man. Let alone at that time out of your account and everything that you were working hard for, half is gone or whatever the situation.
Mhm.
But even going forward now, going into the next relationship, you know, like the damage that causes the future relationships,
Mhm.
right? Just like any regular trauma in your life, when it comes to, like, if you look at childhood trauma in general with abandonment issues and abuse, right? And then all your future relationships, there's always a worry and there's always you're struggling in those relationships because of that.
Yeah.
While if you look even on this side, is the financial side even, and the anxieties that causes and going forward into relationships. And when, like I said, I was reading one of them today, and maybe that's why I've been single for so long, because in the back of my mind, it's like freaks me out
Mm.
that I'm not going to be good enough. I'm not going to be able to do what I think I can do, even though I probably could. You know what I mean? And then I overthink things, and then and back off. And now it really kind of, to be honest, man, this really opened my eyes reading some of this today about how I move in life when it comes to meeting somebody and shit. And now I'm just like, holy fuck, dude! Like, I've really, truly, genuinely learned something today about myself, man. No joke.
Yeah,
And I'm
that's
like,
Have you
but
would you say, like, turned down isn't the right word, but would you say that you've, like, pulled yourself back from meeting someone with that type of fear in mind? Like, you
100%,
personally? Yeah?
100%.
You
And
just
I
haven't
think, like,
pursued someone because you're just like, "I don't even know if I could afford that." Like, it's a shitty way to look at it, and, like, I'm wording it fucking terribly.
no, but when I read this and I thought about it, and then I look back, is I get freaked out, I guess, thinking that if I start something going forward, even though, you know, my life is good, like it's the
Mhm.
best it's ever been in a lot of ways. And I'm at a point now where, yeah, it would be great to share it with someone. But then when I meet someone that's could potentially, all of a sudden I start overthinking not the relationship part, but I'm overthinking the, well, and then I'm looking at what they do for a living, and all of a sudden, and then I'm breaking that down.
"How's
I'm
this
like,
gonna work?" kinda thing.
how's this gonna work? Do they come from a wealthy background?
Mhm.
Shit. And it's gonna make me feel like shit because her family's always got money doing this and this, and then like I just fucking, and it really affects me. Because I remember when I was in relationships, I would shut down because they wanted to do this. And you know, a lot of the times, unless you're living together and you're sharing the finances, you don't really talk about all your finances with each other, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
well, how much do you make? How much do you don't know? You just know that they do this for a living. That's pretty much it.
Mhm.
You don't know how much money they actually have or don't have. So when they're talking all the time in my past about doing this and doing this, and meanwhile in my head, I'm like, man, like I'm just trying to fucking pay for this house I got for me and my kids by myself, man. I ain't got no
Yeah.
help. How the fuck am I
Mhm.
gonna go to Disneyland in 2 months? And then I would literally just start to like feel shitty as a man.
Mhm.
Even though I was working my ass off and I was doing good and I got good people around me and my kids are healthy, just that part would literally drive me into the ground to the point where I'm just like struggling. And this is part of me that was shut out because I couldn't talk about that with someone who I loved or cared about, because I thought then automatically they would judge me and leave me or whatever.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's how my train of thought would be. And until I read that today, I'm like, Jesus, man, like that's it. Like, but then I got to look at, and after just talking about it with you guys right now, really open to is like, what will be enough? Is there even going to be a number?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there a number for
Yeah.
you where it's just like, "Okay, now I can move
But
on."
it's like going now that I'm really thinking about it with you guys, is like, it's like going to the gym, you know, like there's a saying, when you start the day you start working out is the day you'll never be big enough, right? And I know that for a fact because I've been going to the gym for years and it's still not good. I just still keep going, right? But it also makes you feel good. But
The one quote that I
re-
remember from the gym was, "You'll never be as big as your pump." That's the one that I
Mhm.
always remember. Makes you keep
but
going
I
back.
yeah, but where is it enough? Where do you have to be like? Because if you keep chasing that dollar amount, whatever number is you in your head, it'll never be good enough. Because even if you hit that amount, you're going to the next one and
Yeah.
the next one. Just like people who chase women or men, If you keep chasing these men and women, man, you're gonna be single for the rest of your life, and you'll never settle down.
Mm-hmm.
So now I really just sitting here is a big fucking eye opener, seriously. But like, where is it gonna be good enough for me?
Yeah.
Because you guys know I'm doing a lot of things outside of my job and positive
Mhm.
things, and I keep pushing and trying.
Yeah.
And I know I'm overworking myself because I'm like sometimes like right now I'm like where is the line to be humble and be like, you know what, man, you're doing a lot more than a lot of people, and the gratitude we always talk about, right?
Yeah.
But the finance for me it's always been a massive thing, thinking that it was never good enough. When I could have, that one person could have been like, what you do is way more than enough. I don't know. But I never let it get there because I would just shut myself down as a man. Like, fuck, man, I'm not going to be able to do this. And what if she wants a ring that costs this down the road and fucking blah, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
it just weighs on us, man. And it kills me, especially when you live in an expensive part of the world, right? Like the most expensive, one of them.
Yeah.
It's not
Well,
easy, right? So,
and then not just that, like as a father, like you're saying, like you feel like a failure because you can't take your kids to do these things while all these other kids get to do it. You know what I mean? And that pays a huge toll on you as well, right on top of that shit.
oh, especially being the father and the kids want this and
Yeah,
oh,
man.
now you got a few days off but you can't take them anywhere this week.
Yeah.
Like you just like, man, we could easily just go up here for the weekend, get out, but I can't. I wish I could, but I can't. And then you know what I mean. And just especially as a dad, especially when you're working hard and you're not missing ever calling in sick, man, and you're just like, man, like I know kids don't see it like we do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The quality
Yeah.
time and you know what I mean? You buy them 3 peasants, and they're super happy when in your mind, you're like, "Fuck, I didn't buy them 6."
Yeah. They're happy
You know
about the fucking wrapping paper, and you're just like, shit, I should have got him this.
Yeah, and then it's a lot as well, right? And yeah, it's not easy, man, especially I think that was my biggest struggle was not so much the finance itself and the money itself, it's how I looked at the money and how I operated on what I was does that make sense?
Yeah.
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 Let me ask you guys another question. I know you'll be able to touch on this if you want, Eric, but do you guys pay child support?
I used to until Thursday, couple
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, because now I got my daughter full time,
Hmm.
so I don't anymore. But yeah,
So
man, I was paying child support and on top of that, helping out when she needed it.
so here's the reason I ask is because I don't pay child support, but we have shared custody and her and I literally make like equal money and we were so amicable we didn't even have to go a legal route. So
That's
and we
nice.
help each other out where we can, right? But like how the fuck do you survive having to pay someone else? Like man, if she wanted any amount of money from me, I'd be fucked. Like I'd be royally fucked. Like I wouldn't be able to afford and I don't really do anything. I mean, fucking tattoos are a bit of a problem, but like for myself, like I don't do anything for myself, man.
Yeah. It's all about budgeting pretty much, man.
Mhm.
When it came down to I mean, I used to have savings and fuck this woman. I mean, she sucked it all out of me. You know what I mean? Like, um, and not to knock or anything, like we're
Yeah.
whatever, right? But I mean, yeah, we went through some hard times and it was hard, man. Like I would end up, giving her child support and then she couldn't pay her rent. So I'd have to help her pay her rent so my daughter would have a roof over her head. I'll tell you, man, I was struggling, bro. I was eating KD and rice, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
that's
man.
when you start very budgeting, right?
Yeah. And I've been there like pretty recently, just like it's like fuck, the kids are eating tonight. Like
Yeah.
dad's having rice. Like I don't give like
Yeah.
and to me, like it doesn't feel like emotionally overwhelming to do that. Like what was crazy for me is like I was off for 2 months in the summer. You guys know this. I was off for 2 months in the summer for mental health leave. My dad was in the hospital the whole
Mhm.
time. And then I had a really close friend die of a heart attack in his sleep. So same thing. I had savings and then I finally got myself back in a vehicle. Like I financed a vehicle after my bankruptcy, like trying to rebuild my credit and shit. But like I fucking burned through my savings in like 2.5 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got back to work and it's like I'm not paycheck to paycheck, but it's like my money is fucking spent before I get it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like first
Oh
thing I
yeah.
do is put gas in my car and groceries in the fridge and pay my fucking bills and like that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been times over the past couple months where it's literally like fuck, like I'm eating scraps, you know? Like and not in
Yeah.
a bad way. Like I don't want it to sound fucking horrible, but it like for me it was just like holy shit, like did my parents ever like go through this for me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a really humbling feeling and experience because like I remember being a kid and like being stoked for craft dinner. But like now it's just like if that's all that there is in the fucking cupboard, my kids are excited about it, but like fuck. Like I don't know, it just like really humbled me like thinking that my parents did that shit for me.
Yeah. I mean, I to be honest with you, man, I was thinking something like along the lines a couple days ago as well. Um, where I was like
Ah, damn it.
wondering like the
We
suffering that
lose
my
him again?
mom
We
had to go
lost him.
through
He'll
because
be
she was a
back.
single parent as well.
But what about
He's
you,
Oh, I'm
Joey?
here.
Like what did you find for hold on, we'll give Eric a test run here.
I'm here.
Okay. Carry on, buddy.
Um, I forgot where I left off there.
I don't even think you started, to be honest.
Oh, I was going on, but I guess because we had little difficulties. So yeah, I was actually, it's funny you say that because I was thinking about that actually the other day. And like I was kind of putting together here like the foods that my mom would make me
Mhm.
would kind of tell me a little bit of like where we were in life, I guess if you could say at that point, you know. Like one day my mom would call it cheese toast where you just put cheese, like slices of cheese on a piece of bread and then you put it in one of those toaster ovens
Yep.
and it would melt. I'd love that shit, but it was fucking cheap, man.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But I would eat that shit all the time because that's what we had.
Yeah, but there's two ways of looking at that one. It's either because that's all you had, or someone was just lazy and didn't want to cook any food.
No, that's all that we
Because
had.
I've done that a few times too, where I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I don't feel like cooking dinner, man.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you know the
no.
kids will fuck
No.
that shit up every time. They
Yeah,
love that cheap ass shit.
definitely.
Yeah.
No, I mean
But
like we would go in the like there would be the cupboards would be empty. I mean, my mom was on disability. You know what I mean? She's got 2 kids. My dad was a longshoreman, and he wasn't paying any fucking child support.
Mhm.
He was too busy taking care of his other family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, it was a struggle, man. It was a struggle. My mom was a nurse for all these years, and then she got epilepsy, and then, dementia, and now she's
He's
got
not having any
Alzheimer's.
luck tonight, is he?
And now oh, I'm gone.
keeps cutting out.
Yeah, he popped back out. Yeah, like there's been times like recently where like I've gone to the grocery store and it's just to buy shit for my kids. You know, like make sure they got school lunches, make sure they got stuff for dinners and what have you. But yeah, like yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy to think that like our parents would have done that shit for us, man. Like I remember having cereal for supper as a kid, but again,
Mhm.
like I ate that shit up. Like I loved it.
Dude, I
Yeah.
had cereal for supper yesterday.
Yeah.
No, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Like
I believe you.
Yeah.
cereal's the shit. But
Yeah, man.
no, I get it, man. Like, when you ask about child support, like me, I live by myself and I have because I have 2 kids, a boy and a girl. They can't bunk bed in the same room.
Yeah.
I have to
Yeah.
rent a 3-bedroom in Vancouver by myself, and now it's just ridiculous. And to answer your question, is I pay $1,000 a month for child support,
Yeah. I don't know how you do it, man. I honestly I couldn't even do half of that. I couldn't.
and so that is a huge weight factor in me looking at relationships. Even not be, I've never missed, like, my son is the oldest, and he's 14, and I've never missed a child support payment since he was born. But um having to pay all this and just those two combined
Yeah.
is more than what a lot of people make in a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And that's not even touching the bills and the food and the gas and entertainment. Right. So I'm very proud of where I've gotten to, but at the same time, it's like, you work so hard to get to where you are in your career at making to most people would be really good money.
Yeah.
But yet I feel like I'm just getting by. And it's
Mhm.
because of where we live in the Western world. And it really weighs on me. And that really brings out the financial trauma even more because of oh, this girl's nice and I would love to date her, but then all of a sudden I start fucking panicking in my mind with the financial anxiety.
Mhm.
And it makes so much sense, man. Like I have no idea how much this is fucking really opened my eyes to a lot of things today, but that's the financial anxiety. Because everything else in my life, man, is I have no complaints. It's good, right? When you like what you do, your kids are healthy, you got good people around you, you're doing positive things. But it's that financial anxiety that fucks you up.
Mhm.
Well, it
But
fucks me up for sure.
we're slaves to the fucking dollar is what it is at the end of the day, man. We're slaves to the dollar. I actually watched this video the other day. I think I posted it on my Facebook, and it's 3 guys, and they're like in a triangle or a square. I mean, a circle-ish triangle thing, and they're all digging. But one guy digs, and then he goes and puts it in the other hole, while the other guy digs and puts it in the other hole. So all it's doing is they're getting nowhere, right? One guy, like, they're just digging and putting it, you know what I mean? They're going nowhere. And that's what our life is. We get these cars, but then we have to go to work, or the house, and we go to work and do the job that we have to do in order to pay for the house that is sitting empty while you're at work making the money so you could sleep in the house. It's a fucking vicious cycle, man. It's crazy. It's wild, you know what I mean? But I mean that's life, I guess.
Yeah.
Fuck, that sucks. Right? I'm being honest, man. That
You
shit
guys want to
fucking
fucking
sucks,
go in on a
man.
lottery pool or what? The 3 of us?
You're fucking rights, I do. But yeah, I play that shit every week, man,
Do you
hoping I'd
fucking
win.
imagine? That would be hilarious. Do it like one time, just win the lottery.
Buddy, here, hold on, let me see here.
Is it today? I don't even know if the lottery's today or not. Look at this guy pulling up his winning numbers.
Let's do it. You guys ready? You guys are all a part of this with me.
What are you checking your numbers?
Fucking right. Oh,
But you know what?
keeps on
That's
zooming.
to kind of go with what Eric just said though, is that's why I'm doing all these things on the side to have where you could stretch your arms and feel no walls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like where even if I made what I made now at my job and did it where I
$1.
can just wake up on my own time. I can take my kids to school whenever the
Yeah.
fuck I can pick them up from school on whatever day I want. I can go take them and sit on a beach and open my laptop for a couple hours and make some money.
Mhm.
That's real freedom. That's for me. I don't need like everyone. Yeah, sure, $500,000 would be amazing, but I'm not driven by that. I'm
No.
driven because for what I'm trying to do and why I get so hard on myself, and this is just me, is because I'm trying to do things where my kids will grow up and be like, that was my dad. My
Mhm.
dad did that. And that freedom, just that little bit of freedom where I can get up and whenever I want
Legacy,
and,
buddy. A
and go pick up
legacy.
kids from school, and
Yeah.
and I'll keep weighing on myself and driving myself in the ground like I do until it hits. And people, when you're working on things and just really grinding, I tell myself every day, you're one yes away.
Yeah.
You're one email away. You're one phone call away from someone that's going to change the whole direction of your life. As
Mhm.
long as you grind, because just like we tell everybody every week, man, you get what you put in. You will get 100% of the results with 100% of your effort. It's a fact. However, it just might not come when you want it to come. but it will come. And that's what I also tell myself, because you know how many walls I bang my head off of? Being like, dude, I've been fucking working on this for 3 fucking years. What the but
Mhm.
and it's defeating, you know? And then we go through things, you know, especially what we're talking about tonight is the financial incarceration and the financial traumas. Like in the last 6 weeks, man, my work's been going like this, and you know a few of the stories, but and you know, then you got kid's birthday and back to school and this and as a single dad, man, like I was I was falling apart, man. I'm just like I'm trying to keep my head afloat, and it's never been like that for a couple years until this last 6 weeks, and it just took a toll on me, man. And when you struggle with what anything, as you know, it's you get mentally drained,
Oh yeah.
where your body's just fucking exhausted, but you've done nothing physical, but your overthinking and stress and anxiety from whatever it is that you're struggling with, fuck, it kills your body, man.
Mhm.
I came home every day for the last month and I'm just
Yeah.
fucking run down. I'm just like, and taking naps. I don't fucking take naps, man. Look at last week. You guys called me 6 times, ready to go, 6 o'clock, and I was just
Mhm.
beat, man. I was just run down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm fucking trying here. And like so many people, men out there especially, is like, man, it's kicking our ass because, like I said, regardless of the cost of living, how our roles and responsibilities are the same.
Yeah.
You got to get up, you got to go provide, you got to take care of those kids, you got to, you know, give your wife and children the best life you can, right? But now, oh, interest rates just went up, mortgage just went up, rents just went up,
Mhm.
gas is almost doubled,
What is
and
gas out there?
Oh fuck.
175 right now.
Yeah.
Really? It's one
And
like
That's
that's for
140.
that's
87.
Holy
that's
That's
cheap.
fuck.
That's
yeah.
cheap. That's cheap.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's $1.40 here.
Usually it's like 190 to like 205.
That's fucking disgusting, man.
Yeah. And I drive a fucking 8 liter. And so I pass everything but the fucking gas station.
Eight
Mm.
8 liter.
8-cylinder.
A cylinder, I mean. Sorry.
I was gonna say that's the sluttiest vehicle on the
Yeah.
face of the fucking planet. Holy
Yeah.
Christ.
I mean cylinder, man.
So
I'm thinking gas liters.
V8.
so you kind of said your financial dream, Joey. What would be your financial dream, Eric? Like what I'm trying to think of how to word this.
I'll tell you right now, man.
Okay.
I want to go for fucking donuts in Paris. I'm gonna fucking hop on my jet and go for Paris. Go for donuts in Paris. That's my fucking financial dream, bro. To do whatever the fuck I want within the guidelines, obviously.
Mm,
And have the money to just not have any worries, man. My kids not to be able to have any worries. I think at the end of the day, that's what we all want is, for our kids to have a free life, not to struggle.
yeah.
That right there, there's no comfort zone for me for that shit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? There isn't. If you to me personally, if I get comfy, I'm just gonna fucking either start falling down. No, man, you got to keep on pushing. Make all that money that you can. Push hard. I don't know. For me, it's just to be able to do, buy, go, whatever the fuck I want to do. That's it right
Okay,
there.
let me ask you a question, Eric, to add to his question. Now, and this goes for anybody that wants what you want, right? Your goal. Now, what is it that you're doing or going to do or want to do outside of your job that will potentially get you there?
Fuck, I play 649 every week, bro. That's the only way that's gonna get you there that motherfucking fast, bro. 100%, man. And I do all these little things. Like I use my program I get, you guys know, and I find Craigslist ad that people need written up, and I do little things like that. I try to do whatever I can on the back burner, but then I mean, think about it, man. We're all full time dads here. We got this podcast. I'm in a management position at work, so it's fucking busy there. So it's just it's where you can put the time in to do these things. But 100%, it's all about those fucking 649s and crossing my fingers, bro. That's just me being real.
Betting on the Chiefs too.
Yeah, you know it. I fucked up, man. I should have bought that rookie helmet that was signed by him when I was in Vegas that day, man. It was $800. And if he won, it would have been up to $8,000. And then if he won again, and he did, and now back to back, never done before. Do you imagine how much that helmet would be?
Mhm.
Fucking kick myself in the ass now. But yeah, man, it's just about that. Like having my daughter be free, you know? Fuck, I want to be rich, man. I don't want to just be okay. To be honest, I don't want to be okay. I want.
But that's why I asked you that question, and that goes for
Yeah.
anybody listening.
Yeah.
That there's a lot of people. I'm not knocking you. This is just general. There's a lot of people that want the new Mercedes, and they want the mansion with the pool, and they want to take the destination trips. But yet, and I'm not saying you. I'm saying people in general. They just go to a job that's not even a career, and
Yeah.
they complain about life and wish and wish and wish that I could do this and wish I could go there and wish I had that. But that's it. It's just wishes and dreams with no
Yeah.
drive or hard work or stepping out of that comfort zone to get those things.
What do you
So
mean,
that,
man? You can do it on TikTok. You can get your fucking phone, stand on the curb, and go. Oh, that was electricity. Look at these fucking guys doing that shit, man.
The
They're fucking
NPC shit or whatever.
Oh my god, they're multi-millionaires over this shit. And who's the fucking idiots watching it?
You, because you watched
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. You know, but you're just like, it's fucked, man.
I know.
Some of these guys make ridiculous amounts of money
yeah, but
for
it's
fucking. It's crazy though.
it's true, but the percentage of those people is like 0.0000 fucking 4.
It's
But what I'm saying is I'm trying to get it out to people listening too is like if you want these things, you have to grind. You have to work. That like you will never get those things just going to work and coming home and doing a 9 to 5. Right? You have to find the other means of income. You have to step out of your comfort zone. If people want those things, it's hard work. You got to grind. Like you said, I want to do this, I want to do that, and I want to do it, and I'm grinding my fucking ass off, but I'm also
yeah, man.
driving myself into the ground at the same time because I never feel like it's good enough.
You need balance, bro. That's what it is.
And that's it.
Balance.
But it's if people want these things is you just have to work or work harder. And if it's an income problem, then you have to change that.
Yeah.
It all depends on it all breaks down to what is important to you in your life. Period. Because if it's that important that you want to get that and you want to do this, you're going to do it. It'll take time, but you'll get there because you're going to do everything you can to get there. You're going to do everything you can to save money to buy that. Or you're going to do everything you can to upgrade your education so you can get that job that you always wanted or whatever. But it just breaks down to, are you making excuses or are you willing to put in the work to get what it is you want? Because if you don't, you only make excuses and it wasn't that important. People talk like things were important, but they don't put in the work to prove it. So if, oh, well, I didn't go today because of this and I missed the gym because of that, well, it just means that wasn't important to you today. But then you're saying that it is, and I have to do this, but where's your action? There is none. It's excuses. So it's, yeah.
I think
But
the other part
people,
of that too is
Well,
like understanding like you have to be willing to sacrifice certain things,
you
right?
have
Like
to.
so the best example I could give you is like I had a business, and even though I was in active addiction at the time, like I've been sober 3.5 years. I have more skills now than I did then when I had my business. My business was doing pretty fucking good aside from the fact that I spent all my money on cocaine. Like realistically, I probably could run a good business now, but the difference is I'm not willing to sacrifice the time with my kids for the money. That's what, if there's anything I learned about owning a
Yeah.
business is that I was, and Joey, I know you can completely understand this. And Eric, you used to have your own business too, right?
Yeah, man. I had no time for myself or
Even
anybody
when you're
else.
sitting down, your fucking head is not where you
Yep.
are, right? So for me,
Yeah.
I've just learned for myself that like that's why I'm trying to be careful with my words and not complain too much about the money. Like, yeah, shit's expensive. We know that, but it's
Yeah.
like I have to be comfortable with what I'm making because I'm not willing to sacrifice the time with my kids. My values have changed over the years where money was a very big value at one point and it cost me time with my kids. Then I
Yeah.
got sober and I realized how fucking important my kids are to me. So now it's like, yes, sometimes it sucks not being able to do things with my kids, but the fact that I'm with my kids is important. So like my financial thing that I love doing is like when I have enough money with after my bills are paid to go to the grocery store and just buy a few things for the kids, whatever the fuck they want. Not just
Hmm.
go in with a strict list, just go in and not care what's in my bank account, grab what I need, grab whatever they need, and then be like, you guys can like, what do you want for fucking school snacks this week? Go pick out 3 different things each. I don't care.
It's
You know,
freedom.
like yeah, and like that's a sacrifice I'm not willing to make right now. I'm not willing to sacrifice the time with my kids now because they're to me, they're so young, it's important to me. But some people like like Joey, I don't really want to speak for you, but like you want to grind now to give your kids that future, right? So you're willing to sacrifice the time and your kids are a little bit older. It could have been different when they were younger, right? But like you're willing to sacrifice that time right now in hopes to build something beautiful for your kids for the future, right? So it's like you got to be willing to sacrifice certain things. Like for me, like I know owning a business isn't for me, man. I would much rather just go to my fucking job, do my job, come home. This this thing that we're doing here, I fucking love doing this and it works out perfectly for me because my kids are already in bed by the time we do this. This has never affected my time with my kids, which I love. So it's like this doesn't cost me any time with my kids.
Yeah.
But this is also
Definitely.
something that fills my cup too. So this
Hmm.
doesn't feel like I don't think there's ever been a situation in doing this where it's ever felt like work to me. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
just love coming on here with you guys. I love doing this. I love talking to fucking beautiful human beings, interviewing people, getting to hear their stories. I love all of it, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
just where I'm at in life right now, the moral of the story, where I'm at in life right now, the sacrifices that would require me to have a greater monetary gain, I'm not willing to make those sacrifices because it's going to cost me the time with my kids.
Buddy,
That's what it is for
it,
me.
it's it's simple. You just sacrifice 20 bucks a week, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking lotto ticket, there you go. Then who knows what happens? That's what I
You're not
do.
gonna let that go, are you?
I'm not letting that go, man. It's easy. You know what I mean? Simple as that. But I feel you on that too, because like I used to be all over Canada and I used to build bridges, and
Yeah.
I was making fucking killer money, man. Like after taxes, I was taking home between 8 to 9 grand after taxes every 2 weeks. And it was killer money. But why didn't I stay? Is because I missed my daughter. Missed her growing up, and that was more important to me, is to be there because I was all over I was living in a hotel all the time,
Yeah.
and it fucking sucked. It's a lonely life. Yeah, you make good money working out of town, but you don't hear about like the shit, man. It's shit. You eat like shit. You're in stuck in a hotel with a dude that you just met. You don't know what's his deal is. You're in cold weather. Most of the time it's through the winter you're working out there. It's
Mhm.
just it's not a good time. Then you miss your family. It's not fun. Not
Yeah.
fun at all.
My dad worked on the highway when I grew up. Like I I don't remember much of my childhood with my dad growing up because he was always working on the like he worked on the highways and he was never
Yeah.
and then like I can't remember when he stopped doing it, but he got same thing, he just got fucking tired of it. He's like, "I'm never home."
Mhm.
Like, I own a house that
Yeah.
I don't even stay in. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It was like my dad too. He was a boilermaker when I was younger. Never really. He was always flying everywhere, cheating on my mom all the time, just being a piece of shit. But yeah, just wanted to throw that in there.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think though, as like for me, why I'm grinding so hard, especially now, is look at my son's situation. Like his mom is an addict on the street, lives
Yeah.
in a tent for the last couple years. I'm all he's got in terms of parenting, so I've taken on that subconsciously taking on, and I know I have, and I had a lot of issues with my daughter's mom a few years ago. We're good now, but there was a lot for years where subconsciously I think I was taking on the weight of both parents, making up for their issues or
Yeah.
downfalls or absence. You know what I mean? So ever since then, I can't stop. And I
Mm-hmm.
was just listening to you about how this doesn't affect your time with your kids, Anthony. And for some reason, when I have my kids, like I'm always playing with them, I would take them out all the time. But there's a lot of times, and I just realized it right now that I'm in my phone, but it's not scrolling. It's not like a lot of people, the doom scrolling
Yeah.
is I have to make a new design. I got to do this. And I can't stop. And it's always, even my dad doesn't even live in this province. And he already knows. He'll call me and be like, dude, you got to slow the fuck down. Stop. And then every day I'm just like, I come home from work and I'm sitting here, like my TV never goes on. Now I'm okay. And now I got to do this. And now I got to do that. And it's still like I have to somehow learn to slow that down because I've done a lot of really positive things. However, and this goes hand in hand, and I know exactly with this financial trauma, is to me, it hasn't hit yet. So I'm still fucking pushing and pushing, and I got to sell and I got to make more clothes and all these things that I'm doing because in my mind, it hasn't hit yet, even though there's a lot of good that has come in especially the last year.
Yeah.
But for me, I think, and I know, speaking out loud about it now, is I've overworked myself to make up for my son not having his mother anymore and etc. from the past. And now I feel like I got to do extra all the time. And that's where my own anxieties come in and why financially I never think it's good enough and they deserve more and I got to give them more and I got to give them more presents at Christmas. And then all of a sudden in my mind, I didn't buy them 5 presents. They only got 3. And now I feel like a piece of shit and all this weight that we carry because it just, to me, it's never enough when in reality to most people, it's probably more than enough. I don't know. But I'm working and I'm grinding, but I'm also at the same time, I'm actually glad we got to talk about this because lifting a weight off my chest, man, because this is what I struggle with huge. Like this is massive for me.
Yeah.
And I'm grinding and I'm doing well, but at the same time I don't feel like I'm doing well at all.
Yeah, but you learned something, bro. You learned something from what you said, right? You know what I mean? And it kind of opened up your eyes.
Huge, massive. Even
Yeah.
while reading what I said earlier.
Yeah.
Like
So there you
even just
go.
I sat here, did a little research, a little
Yeah.
extra research, and I'm just like,
Take
whoa.
that for a win, bro. That's a win. That's a big fucking W right there, man. You know?
Yeah, it makes me kind of a different outlook now, you know what I mean? So
Definitely.
but yeah, it's in general, man, like especially in the expensive cities, man. As a man, like I said, your rules don't change. Your responsibilities don't change. Now it's just like it's just extra stress every day when we walk out the front door, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doing the best that we can to take especially as good fathers. And whether you're single or not, if you're not, well, then you have even more responsibility in your mind, taking care of your woman and your wife, and you know what I mean, trying your best to give everybody everything that you can. And the days that you don't is when it really hits you and it hurts. But
Yeah.
you just got to keep grinding, man. And if you want that jet to fucking Paris to eat your little fucking mini donuts, you just got to keep plugging away, right?
Keep plugging away or just
20
blow all
bucks
your
a
paycheck on
20,
fucking fuck 20
buddy,
bucks,
20
but put
bucks
the
a
whole
week,
paycheck
bro.
on there.
Fuck no, man. You gotta have some fucking,
Can't
20
be a
bucks,
total
bro.
degenerate.
20 bucks is 20 bucks.
20 bucks is 20 bucks. Well,
But
boys, I know
yeah,
we started a little late tonight. I'm super stoked on this episode. I feel like this was a good one, and I would love to revisit this
Yeah.
topic again in the future. Probably, why don't we say maybe like after Christmas, just to see how bad everybody's just fucking financially
Yeah.
hurting.
Buddy, it's my
Yeah,
daughter's birthday right after Christmas,
Oh.
man. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but
get fucking double hit.
if you see Eric's backdrop as a real beach, you know that he won.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we just
Yeah.
won't fucking hear
Yeah.
from him anymore. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Guess we'll go fuck ourselves then.
What do you mean? I would call you guys. I'd be like, Anthony, I got you a fucking jet. Let's fucking go. You're coming over to Vancouver, meeting us, and then we're going to fucking wherever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
Bring the
And then
kids.
and
Let's
6
go.
months from now, he'll be back on revisiting this
Panhandling. No,
the
I'll be panhandling.
financial trauma because he fucking
Yeah.
pissed it all away.
Yeah, man.
Wearing one gold chain he's got left.
Yeah.
Yeah, no clothes, just the chain,
Just
man.
the clothes you have on now. Just cheering for the Chiefs.
Yeah. I gotta make that extra.
Well, I think, what did they say? 80% of all lottery winners go bankrupt or broke within the first 3 to 5 years or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because everybody gets
They
the
don't know
money
how to
and just
manage
starts spending it, man. What you want to do is fucking invest. You know what I mean? Definitely invest, man. Make that shit
But
work for
I heard
itself.
something though. I heard something a while ago is that if you don't know how to manage $1,000, you'll never learn how to manage $1 million.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
I am not safe
true.
with I'm not safe with $1 million. I'll tell you right now. I would be so fucking scared with that amount of money in my bank account. Like I wouldn't even think. I would just buy shit because I fucking could. And then it would be
Yeah.
gone.
I'd invest right away.
No, that's what I mean.
Definitely.
Like if I
Yeah.
won something, I would fucking call someone right away. Like my company
Yeah.
won the lottery like 18 or 19 years ago, and 3 of them bought the company and they still own it. But they won. They back when it was Super 7, they won it. But
Well,
yeah.
Anthony, I think this is your cue.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
We'll shut her down. But yeah, like I feel like there's a ton of other stuff we could talk about too. Like I didn't even touch on my bankruptcy shit tonight. We could talk about that.
Definitely. We'll open this can bigger later.
Yeah. I didn't honestly, if I'm being completely honest, boys, like I knew it was gonna be a good episode because they all are, but I didn't think we would get this in touch and in tune with the shit that we did tonight. So it was a really good episode. And just like you said, Joey, like I fucking realized in the midst of the episode that like, yeah, like time with my kids is more valuable to me than money. Like that kind of hit me too. And it's like, holy shit. Like even as simple as the fucking gym, man. I wanted to go to the gym today and I got sidetracked with my kids. There was a hot second where I was fucking upset that I didn't go to the gym. And I'm like, listen, you wanted to like you built a life to spend time with your kids. That's what you fucking did. Don't be mad. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But
honestly, man, the gym's always gonna be there. Your kids may not. You know what I mean? As they grow up, you're gonna miss those times, right? So
yeah, that's
he just might regret it a little bit in the summer when he takes his shirt off.
Yeah, I'll never be big as you, man. Fuck.
Just get one of those shirts, man, that's got the abs already on it, buddy.
Yeah,
We'll get you a bodysuit.
There we go. We'll just fucking buy our own abs when we win the lottery.
Yeah, there you go. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's go to Turkey and buy some abs.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna get pec implants
Yeah.
as soon as you get that fucking money.
Yep. Well, we'll just wait a quick second here for Eric to come back. He's been talking shit about your internet all fucking week, and you haven't gone out once. He's been out like 20 times this whole episode.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. I think it's the program that we use, but
no, the storm is really bad here today.
Is it still raining there?
I don't know if it's raining.
A little bit.
Yeah. All right, boys. Well, this has been a fucking beautiful episode as always. Next week we have Wes. Is Wes next week?
Fuck yeah, we do.
That's gonna be a sick fucking episode. I'm super excited for that. So
yeah, he's a motivational speaker that travels across America.
Yeah, talks in schools, colleges. What do you say? Like straight from like public school all the way up to like universities or whatever.
Yeah.
And like I fucking love that dude's energy, man. I'm super excited for next week. So we will see you guys next week. Don't hesitate to leave us a review, give us a follow, smash that subscribe button. And we appreciate everybody who listens every week. Thank you guys. Love yous.